have nothing to do with the Knicks. I don't know who traded Porzingis. They got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to play basketball. Y'all come here every day, ask me about free agency, ask my teammates, my coaches, you rile up the fans about it. Let us play basketball. That's all I'm saying. And now when I don't want to talk to y'all, it's a problem with me. Come on, man. Grow up. Grow up. Yeah, you, grow up. Come on, bro. I come in and go to work every day. I don't cause no problems. I play the right way. Or I try to play the right way. I try to be the best player I can be every possession. What's the problem? What am I doing to y'all?
Kevin Durant not happy after the Warriors' 39-point win over the Spurs because of all the talk of where he will play next season. He just wants to play ball and go home. Come on, guys. Will Kane, how you doing?
What's up? I'm good.
How you feeling? How you living?
All
yeah?
good. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Strikes and gutters.
All right. Well, I want to start with you on this one. Do you think Durant's right?
No, well, first of all, I don't think he's right about his analysis of the league. Like, why do we have to talk about this? He's upset about all the free agency talk. The bottom line is this is really, really good for the league. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves this time of year. And one of the reasons we all love it is because of the Golden State Warriors. The actual drama of the league, who's going to win, who's going to be in the NBA Finals, who's going to win the NBA Finals, has been sucked out of the league. It's been sucked out by the certainty that the Golden State Warriors are so far and away the best team in the league. It's suffering from a lack of unpredictability, of drama, of tension. The only real tension now comes in next year, and next year embodied in the trade deadline. So we love it, and this is besides the fact that we all love trade talk anyway. This feeds the league. This is good for the league. Now, why does that bother Kevin Durant? I can't really figure it out. I don't know why it's something that is so sensitive for him. Kevin needs to understand this, and I gotta think in some way he does. He feeds this. He continually signs one-year deals. My friend Ryan Russillo tweeted this out a little bit earlier. He signs one-year deals year after year. And he doesn't think there's going to be speculation after that about where he's going to play next year. Most of the speculation is fairly benign. It's not something that turns him into a victim. It's something that turns him into a story that we all love to talk about. Perhaps some Golden State Warriors fans don't like to talk about it, but everyone else would love to see the league get a little more parity, a little more even playing field. I don't know why this hits Kevin Durant in such a soft spot.
Well, let me try to tell you why. Listen, I would be saying the same thing that you're saying, Will. As a matter of fact, I have said the same thing about him in the past when I think that he's overreacted to something other people have had to say. But I listened to him last night, and I listened to him direct his comments at one specific individual in which he sat there and said, excuse me, you walk into the locker room, you look at us, you don't talk to nobody, you just survey the room and then go out there and talk as if we said it. And that is something that I think that we owe it to any athlete to pay attention to. If I can feel whatever way I want to feel, you and Max and anybody else can feel whatever way we want to feel. And we can surmise, we can conjure up our own thoughts, opinions, and feelings and state them as is, and then tell Kevin Durant to kiss off if he doesn't like it even. We can do that up until the moment he's accusing us of coming across as if he said something that he did not say. And that is when I think that everybody has the right to speak up for themselves. Listen, I've been on the record. I called Kevin Durant's move to Golden State the weakest that I've ever seen by a superstar.
I know.
It doesn't mean he's not a superstar player. It doesn't mean he's a bad person. I just thought the move was weak. I have never changed my opinion on that. I will always feel that way. But that doesn't mean he's wrong about everything that he says. And it doesn't make us right that every time we have something to say about him, it has to piggyback off of the move that he made. Or he's making a comment and a basketball announcement when he talked about playing with LeBron. Maybe the word toxic wasn't appropriate. But what he broke down from a basketball standpoint as it pertains to being a teammate of LeBron James was on the money.
Max,
and people treated it like that wasn't the case.
Can I real quick, Max? I just want to say I can't get in between, and Stephen A, you're referencing Ethan Strauss and Kevin Durant.
Right.
I can't get in between that because I don't know the dynamics. I don't know what happened between the two. What I heard, and you're right, Stephen A, if that's what this is about, then more power to Kevin. Let's hope the truth comes out and he can deal with those relationships on his own. But he did generalize it. He did talk about the media, and he just, as Molly pointed out, he just wants to play basketball. Well, in the NBA, media coverage comes with it. There are other places you can go. You go to Europe, you can go play pickup basketball, but part of the riches comes with the media coverage. Max, I'm sorry.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, listen, first of all, he doesn't know who on his team said what. How can he know that for sure? He can speak for himself, of course. But I'm going to simply repeat what I said about 90 minutes ago at the top of this show. Kevin Durant is not right about this. Like, if you want to say, hey, is he on the right side or the wrong side here? The fact of the matter is that we cover these sports, the media's coverage of the sport is not just the stories that play out on the court. It's the drama and the soap operas and the melodrama off the court and how that may affect the drama on the court. And our storytelling, the coverage of it, there's an enormous appetite for it, helps stoke the fire. And the fact of the matter is listen, Kevin Durant will wind up underpaid because there's a salary cap. But the reason he'll be underpaid to the tune of like $200 million is because partly of the media coverage. This is part of why he signed up. If they were just playing basketball in a gym somewhere,
right,
yes, they'd still draw a crowd. Yes, they'd still generate money because they're the best in the world at doing it. But the stories that come out of it are the reason people are paying attention. If you don't want the speculation about players where they're going to land, sign a 5-year deal. If you sign a 2+2, then guess what? Every other year, there's going to be speculation about where you end up, particularly when you're one of the best players we've ever seen, and many feel you represent a balance of power in the league. Of course there's going to be speculation, KD.
Yeah, and he seems upset that he's asked about it, and probably what he's upset about, and Stephen A., perhaps you can speak to this more directly, is because then he has to answer to his teammates. Or there has to be issues about whether or not you're going to be with us next year. But he has to understand that he's the one creating that speculation.
And all I'm saying is that I agree. Listen, I don't disagree with that. I've gotten on KD about stuff like this in the past. But in this particular instance, when you look a reporter in the face in front of everybody, assuming Ethan Strauss was there because I couldn't see from the camera, but based on what he was saying, he's like, yeah, you. For him to make those kind of direct comments and basically say, I haven't said anything. I'm just playing ball, trying to win a championship.
Yeah, but you know what he said? You know what he said? He said, I just try my best to play the right way on every play. KD, you're absolutely right about that. That's why, given your natural gifts and the work, the years of work you've put in, that attitude of just grinding and doing it right, both sides of the floor every night is why we care about where you end up because you're so great.
That's what you say about it. He said, you saying it like I said it. I didn't talk to you. That's a different argument.
All right. We will leave it there. Will, thank you very much. You will be with us. Oh, actually, we got a little more time, so that's good. Want to do it?
Good, because I got something to say on this.
Okay, perfect. Harrison Barnes was traded from the Mavs to the Kings last night in a 3-player deal, and news of the trade came during the Mavs game against the Hornets. Barnes was forced to sit down the stretch, something LeBron addressed on the Gram last night, saying there's a double standard with how the players and owners are viewed. Will?
Yes.
Does the NBA have a serious problem on their hands?
No, the NBA does not have any problem. There's a LeBron James problem here. You know, this right here is the Mount Everest of hypocrisy, okay? You can't get any higher. This is the pinnacle. If you climb to the top of a mountain and you get to the top, you find this LeBron James Instagram post right here. This is it. No higher level of hypocrisy than this. LeBron James, as we speak, is trying to trade away the entire Los Angeles Lakers franchise. Everybody is on the block, and if he can get it done today, whether or not, if they had an 11 a.m. game and the Pelicans said, we're ready to do the AD deal, he'd say, fellas, off the court. AD's coming in. We know what's going on. And by the way, at the same time, he's trying to get his coach fired. So let's not pretend like this is like the little man against the big men. LeBron, you are the man. You're the man, and you would do this and have done this. You would trade any player, even close friends, move on from close friends and coaches to make your situation better. This is so much hypocrisy, you choke on it. And one more thing, it's fake news. It's absolutely irresponsible fake news. If LeBron wants to do what we do and be a pundit and speak on situations going on around the league, then he needs to be informed. I'm sure there are situations where I've been wrong, but I do my best to be informed. LeBron here is telling you untruth. These are falsehoods.
Harrison, no idea.
Hold on, man.
How are you arriving at this conclusion?
Listen to me. I was almost done. You would have got it. Harrison Barnes, according to his agent, and Paul Pierce mentioned it last night, Harrison Barnes knew the score. He knew what was up. He knew that he could potentially be traded, and it was in the works. He was asked, do you want to play anyway? Right. And he said, I do. I want to play. LeBron suggests he was blindsided. LeBron put in his post, zero knowledge. That's not true, Max.
Right.
That's a lie. That's fake news.
What is the big message to take out of what LeBron tweeted? I fail to see the hypocrisy here. What LeBron is talking about is the idea that players can be dealt whenever. And the team does that, and they do what's best for the team. This is his point, Will. This is like, come on, some reading comprehension. They do what's best for the team. And by the way, what he's saying is, players, we make business decisions for ourselves too. All he's pointing out is that there doesn't seem to be hue and cry about teams doing what's best for them, but there does seem to be hue and cry about players doing it. Now, you may disagree with that.
It's built upon a lie. You have a big...
What's the lie?
It's built upon the lie that the Mavericks were callous and did not tell Harrison Barnes and would do anything in their own self-interest to the detriment of their player. You and LeBron feel like you have a bigger point to make. You're building it on a lie.
Well, it's not a... Well, okay, listen. LeBron saying that Harrison Barnes was blindsided may not be true, although when he became aware of it, if it was a couple days ago or whatever, or it was just since the Porzingis trade, that's what, you're going along with your career in one place, all of a sudden there's a trade goes down and a week later you're gone. That happens pretty quickly, right? Maybe he had talks with the franchise that led him to believe that maybe he had a future there. He didn't. That's not the big takeaway here. The takeaway is... Right. How could you read that LeBron post and not understand the takeaway is
because I don't build truths upon lies. It's easy.
Teams do what's in their best interest, and it's okay. Just as when players do what's in their best interest, it's okay.
I'm sorry, I want to get Stephen A in here. Like this, Max, like when LeBron tweets about the NFL treating its players as commodities and that the owners don't care about their players and they'll trade them away, and then LeBron turns around and treats his own teammates and coaches in the same way, like that.
But that's okay. That means
it wasn't okay with him when he indicted the NFL owners.
LeBron is now you're bringing in other information. You want to say that he went after the NFL hypocritically? Okay, maybe. Wow. But in this instance, LeBron's doing what's best for him. Another player does what's best for him. Teams do what's best for them. But what he's saying is mainly the players are criticized out of proportion.
I would appreciate it if both of y'all would leave it to Stephen A Smith, okay? I really would. That would help y'all. It really would. This is really an example, and it's basically an illustration of the differences that exist now as opposed to before between team and player relations. The players are mega rich. They're driving their own decisions publicly and privately. We recognize that. This is why it's going to potentially be a serious problem for the National Basketball Association, because y'all are both thinking about it in terms of the league, the NBA, the brand, and the fact that it's in a good place. I know that's what you were thinking in terms of you, Will. It's about the hypocrisy of LeBron James. I'm saying no, it's not about either. What this is about is a whole bunch of small market teams that are outside of New York, that are outside of L.A., a cadre of individual owners who are going to raise holy hell. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to come down the pike. You cannot, if you are the National Basketball Association, even though the sport was built on the backs of popular players like Jordan and Magic and Bird before that, Isaiah Thomas in between, Kobe and Shaq later on, et cetera, when you have a situation, and you're talking about big-time money, when you have a situation where players who are under contract are still in a position to manipulate things and speak up on behalf of themselves or what have you, all I'm saying is, from a league relation perspective, in terms of the kind of things that they want to get done down the line, even though those marquee players ain't going to suffer, the middle-of-the-road players are going to be made to suffer just so the example can be established that we are the league and the players will not run.
That's a good point, but the whole problem doesn't occur till 5.5 years into a guy's career. He has no choice where he played if he wants to keep even most of the money. After 5.5 years, players are going to start to bring leverage to bear. Big deal. I mean, what's the problem?
The problem is that you have a bevy of players who are in the mix, who are close to that 5 years. And so as a result, because of the climate...
They put their time in?
No, I'm saying the climate now is such that a lot of players are going to be causing problems.
For what it's worth, when Dan was on, he brought up the same point, that Harrison Barnes was aware that this was going to happen.
Right.
It's important. It's because it's the facts behind the story. It's important.
All right. Well, you know what's important? That we can listen to the Will Cain Show, 3 to 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Always a pleasure having you.